Yo, what's up hunters, IDeVaste here. I wish everyone a happy new year and apologize for not posting in a while, but the waiting is now over and I will start uploading constantly a lot of new extraordinary content for you. So the problem was I was struggling to figure out how I could possibly do content that would benefit PC players but as well PS4 players at the same time, like in one video. And that was a huge problem for me because I mostly made top 5 builds, and if I would make top 5 for boss consoles, it will just take the video to the length and just be not enjoyable. So I finally came up with the idea to make build videos featuring possible build for boss consoles at the same time. So let's get straight to the build, starting with the PS4, and if you're a PC player you can just skip to that part. As you know, recently Arc-Tempered Kjar started for PS4 like 2 weeks ago. The grinding is over, but I will make another video for that too, and a lot of KT builds for PC, for PS4. As you guys know, with the launch of Kjar came also the Kjar weapons. I don't know if it's pronounced Kjar or Kjar. I've heard like literally everything about that, but Kjar just sounds better for me, and that's how I'm gonna pronounce it for the rest of the year. Alright, so let's get straight into that first build with a Kjar Thunder Dual Blades. Not probably, the best ones yet in the game. Oh no! So, see what I did there again of me just talking so long, my introducing took so long to the build that I already killed Mergigante. Please nerf this. Kjar Dagger Spark, total of 7 critical eye, 5 attack boost. Now 5 is not really necessary, you can just leave it at 4 always on elemental builds, because it's the most damage comes from the element and not from the base attack. But I really don't like using a health boost or something else, so why not just go for a little bit more attack. So critical boost level 3, weakness exploit level 3, handicraft of course again level 3, and 2 thunder attack to reach the thunder capacity. It's like for every dual blades, or I don't know if it's for every Kjar weapon, I don't think so, but for dual blades it's always only 2 thunder attack or 2 fire attack to reach the capacity. And 2 latent power, not very useful, but I mean it was with the build, so actually for long fights it's pretty good because you get extra damage and affinity and stuff. So the Kjar weapons are so special because they have the whole critical element on them, so you're saving the Rathalos parts, which means you can use Teostra's Master Touch for not losing any sharpness with critical hits, and this build has a total of 60% affinity. Now it has only 50, but the other 10s comes from the affinity augmentation. I really don't recommend to use the affinity augmentation. I just used it because I was using this build mostly for Kjar, and you really don't need health regeneration because Kjar doesn't even hit you, and if he will just one-shot you. So the second build is Monarch from Kirin. I used 2-part Rathalos and 3 parts from Teostra, so I get both critical element but as well Master's Touch, because Master's Touch is something like you really need that on dual blades, because the sharpness just goes so fast away, and on high crit builds you will like never lose sharpness. So 7 critical eye, 4 attack boost, 3 thunder attack, weakness exploit, 3 latent power and critical boost. Now I think handicraft were not needed on this one because anyways they have just blue sharpness, they can't go to white sharpness, so just go for damage and leave it like that there. Anyways, you're gonna get a few extra affinity from the latent power, and like you will literally not go down to green sharpness if you fight just one monster. Now these ones have less damage, like 260, and blue sharpness, but they have a lot of more elemental damage. It's 350, reaches their capacity. Now that's a lot of more elemental damage in the cost for white sharpness and raw damage, which means they're to be honest, I've tried them both against Coolway, where you can clearly see the difference. It made literally almost no difference. I have no idea why that is so. So it seems like crit element on the dual blades is just really powerful, and with a higher elemental capacity you just get a lot of more damage and can come up with a white sharpness and less elemental damage daggers. Now the third build is Terra's Dagger Spark. Again, 2 Rathalos Mastery, crit element. Always don't use builds without crit element if you're using elemental weapons, and Theostra's Technique for reduction if you get critical hits. Now you have here a total of 7 critical eye, 4 attack boost, 3 weakness exploit, handicraft, which is very good on this one because it already has a base of white sharpness, so with 3 handicraft you get even more white sharpness, and the 2 thunder attack to hit the capacity, critical boost. You can exchange that. I mean, you can even exchange 1 handicraft or 2 handicraft if you don't need that. I put them as dual scene, so it's really not necessary. These are just base builds. You can add health boost or whatever you want in, as long as you don't lose affinity or the 4th attack jewel. Doesn't matter. So this one has only of 200 thunder element, but it has like even more damage than the Kjar daggers, 55% affinity. Now this is a rarity 7 weapon. I would always recommend on rarity 7 1 affinity, 1 health regeneration. On rarity 8 weapons only 1 health regeneration, and it has quite good white sharpness, so all 3 dual blades are pretty equal. I can't really tell the difference. The Kjar maybe be just a quite bit better. Okay, so that was it for the PS4 builds. Let's move now to the PC builds. We'll start off with a Tarot Dagger Spark. Now using a 2-piece Rathalos set for the crit element, 2-piece Drachen, and 1 death dash for the extra handicraft. 7 critical eye, 4 attack boost, 3 critical boost, 3 weakness exploit, 2 thunder attack, 2 handicraft, and power prolonger was pretty much with a Drachen Claw Bite. To be honest, on dual blades it's not useless because this will stay longer in demon mode. So this has a total of 297 damage. Not bad, but it has very good white sharpness. The difference between PS4 and PC is that the guys don't have the Theostra Gamma yet, and if you don't have the Theostra Gamma you can't really do crit element and Master's Touch build. So, but don't worry, the next one to come out for PC is the Artemper Theostra, so once this comes out you guys probably will just be able to use all the PS4 builds. So this is just amazing. Moving on to the second build is the Kadachi Klaus. Again, Rathalos Mastery for crit element, 7 critical eye, 5 handicraft. Now I went with 5 handicraft because these ones are rarity 6 and don't have quite good sharpness, so I just went full out on them. 4 attack boost, 3 weakness exploit, 2 thunder attack, 1 critical boost, power prolonger. Now this have again a total of 200 thunder element. The reason because you see only 45% of affinity, not 55, and so high damage is because I went with these ones 3 times attack augmentations. These ones are when I was just about 20 hunter rank or something, or not even 20, just in the story. I just made them because I love the Kadachi ones, and that's why I didn't know much about the game, so I just went with 3 attack augmentations, but that's really not worth it. Pretty good white sharpness, they're quite decent. So the third ones, probably the best ones, are the Monarch dual blades, which have again crit element. Of course always go crit element as you can. It's pretty much the same set always. 7 critical eye, 4 attack boost, 3 thunder attack, weakness exploit, handicraft, critical boost, and power prolonger. Now this have a total of 350 thunder element. It's really crazy. It's just double the amount of all the other thunder dual blades. Now Monarch are probably the strongest one for PC and PS4. You can't really compare them to Kjar because they have crit element. So damage wise they're the same, but you lose Master's Touch on that. So they're pretty much the same though. A 45 base affinity. Now again, for everyone, if you have a rarity 8 weapon, use always health regeneration, because it saves you time to use pots and stuff, and you don't have to refill your health, which means again you win damage, so you can't compare that to attack boost. Never use attack boost. If you have a rarity 7 weapon, use always 1 health regeneration and 1 augmentation for affinity, because the first augmentation for affinity gives you 10% and the second affinity augmentation gives you only 5%, so it's totally not worth to use a second affinity augmentation unless you can make on some 100% build and you don't take much damage. And if it's a rarity 6 weapon, just go health regeneration, affinity augmentation and slot. Just go slot, don't use attack boost, because on the slot you can use attack boost, and if you wanna swap your build you can put anything else you want in. On attack you're stuck with attack boost, and attack tool give exactly the same boost. Alright guys, so thank you so much for watching my video today. I put as always a lot of effort into editing and stuff, and if you don't want to miss any future content, please be sure to subscribe to my channel, turn on notifications, and of course if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and comment. It really helps me a lot. It shows me that you enjoy the video and I know how I can go on the next one, probably fire element or some other kind of elemental builds. I will not stay only for dual blades, I will do a lot of more weapons and single builds or cool builds for example. And I hope everyone's having a nice day, and see you next video guys.